What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Ed Boon's tweet on Batman and discuss the name of this game one last time. Really trying to nail it down, trying to predict what the name of this game is going to be. Now, this is going to be outdated within like a month and a week, because obviously August 22nd is still right around the corner. We'll get the name. We'll get the name of this Batman game, but honestly, it's driving me crazy. I've seen other people, even on YouTube, right, use different names in the titles. You guys know how I handle the names in the titles, so we kind of go back and forth. It's really kind of whatever's like trending on YouTube, whatever it seems to be everybody else is calling it is kind of what we all call it. I think that's just generally the way we go. Now, there's reason to believe it can be called Gotham Knights. We've talked about that in the past. The domain name, which is really, that is a solid amount of evidence. I mean, domain names, when they come true, and remember, a domain name, you can have one, you can buy as many as you want, you can possess as many as you want. It does not mean that it goes into effect. It doesn't mean that it has to go into effect. It just means that you have possession of that name, of the URL, right? So that if you want to do something with it, you can. If you don't want to do something with it, you don't have to. So Gotham Knights could be used. It could absolutely be the name. It could be a spin-off kind of merchandise thing. It could be not the name. It could just be because maybe they want to use it 4 years down the line. They just want to make sure they have it now. You know what I mean? There's tons of reasons why you would have it. Obviously, seems like Gotham Knights is kind of taking the lead, right? You see a lot of people on YouTube calling it that. I think that ultimately, I guess we'll get to it at the end of this video. I still think that's probably, if I had to nail, if you guys really like forced me, if you said, Alex, you got to choose one, I think that's probably what it will be. I don't think that's the best name, right? We've talked about that in the past as well, too. I don't think that's the best name they could have picked. I feel like it's kind of been overused, or parts of it have been used before that I just don't necessarily think it's the best idea. But if they do it, you know, again, name doesn't matter. If the game is great, I don't care about the name. Let's talk about Ed Boon. Now, if you guys know who Ed Boon is, great for you. If you guys don't know, let me quickly just tell you. Basically, he's the head of NetherRealm Studios, okay? NetherRealm makes Injustice. They've made Mortal Kombat. This guy is a living legend. He truly is. He's been around for a very, very long time. Obviously, he's behind the creation of Mortal Kombat. We owe a lot of, you know, in terms of the fighting game genre, he is a very, very important figure. Now, a thing to note, I guess, let's get to his tweet. Let's get to his tweet first, and then we'll discuss a little bit of the background that I think would be interesting for you guys. So he tweeted out, and this at the time that you guys are watching this, I think is like 2 nights ago, and he said, "Those Arkham games sure have left a strong legacy." And then he has a bat symbol beginning the tweet and ending the tweet. Now, you know, I guess like simple enough, you know, like non-conspicuous, all those kind of words, but at the same time, he is, again, from NetherRealm. Now, this is not the studio that's making Batman, okay? Obviously, that's Warner Bros. Montreal. But these studios talk, and we know that and we've even, there's countless examples of studios, when they're owned by the same publisher, they share things, they share ideas, they share assets. Sometimes they share people, in terms of people literally jump around. Like, if they leave one company, they may join another studio, in terms of, like, studio, I guess. They leave one studio, they go to another studio. It could be in the same publisher group, right? We know even the people that made the Batman fighting, the Arkham fighting, they went on and they helped the Middle-earth games, the Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, implement those fighting styles into that game, right? So a lot of things happen like that. Sony, a lot of their developers, they fly, they see each other, they sometimes use each other's engines. Microsoft, they just published a whole article talking about how they implement brand new studios into their portfolio, that they're allowed to talk, that they share ideas. So, I mean, this is nothing new, but I wanted to give all those things as evidence, because while he doesn't make the Batman game, okay, while he has nothing to do with that, he probably knows, firstly, what they're working on. Secondly, I wouldn't be shocked if he's seen it. And thirdly, he probably knows the title of it. So when we're talking about what the title of this game could be, firstly, I will say this, because I think people will probably say, Alex, you're just going off of face value with the tweet. I mean, there's two things. One, it could definitely be like a troll. I mean, he's kind of a funny guy. If you go through his tweets, I mean, he definitely has he's not like, you know, a very monotone guy. He doesn't have no personality. He definitely has personality. He's able to joke. He's able to goof around. And it's very possible, it's not guaranteed, but it's very possible that this is just a troll, that literally we know, I mean, and he knows, that Arkham Legacy has been a name that's floated around for this Batman game for a very, very long time. And so to then say that these Arkham games sure have left a strong legacy, look, at the end of the day, this tweet, I think 100% in terms of my opinion. Now, it's not guaranteed, but I can say from my own opinion, I read this tweet as either a troll or definitely a hint. One of the two. The last thing I would think of, and the last thing that I actually think he meant by this tweet is to literally say that, which could be sounding mean. You know what I mean? Like, that does kind of sound mean, that the last thing that we assume he means by this tweet is that, oh, actually those games literally have stood the test of time and they've lasted a long time and they still, are really strong games now. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't think that's actually what he meant of it. Sure, that's true. Sure, we know that. I'm sure he thinks that as well. But I really think, again, he either said this to troll us because he knows Arkham Legacy is a name that's gone around the gaming world for a very, very long time, that definitely caught wind, right? This was Arkham Legacy, I would say, for quite a while, probably from October, November to, I don't know, like January, February, March, somewhere in that range, probably for like 4 or 5 months. That was kind of the name that we all thought. Now, what I will say is we also thought Insurgency was a name for a while. We also thought a couple other names, right? There was actually a few names over the last 2-3 years that have floated around, and they were kind of the labeling name for a certain amount of months. Definitely. I mean, actually, the very first video I ever made on this rumored Batman game was July of 2 years ago, and I called it Insurgency. That was the name floating around at that time, and everybody was calling it Insurgency. Then they moved on to whatever the next name was, and before that was the name before that. Obviously, again, Legacy did pop up a few times as well, and was kind of the name going around for quite a while. So it's up to you to decide if this was a troll effort or if he's actually hinting at something. You could say, is it too obvious that it's a hint? You could, at the same time, I mean, it's Ed Boon. Are many people going to connect the dots that because of him with NetherRealm connecting it to Warner Bros. Montreal? I don't know how many people would do that. I would say people that are very heavily ingrained in the gaming world that know what's going on. I feel like a lot of us could probably put the dots together, you know what I mean? Because again, he's not working on the game, but he's literally the head of his studio, okay? He's the main man in charge. He would absolutely, I guarantee you, if you were to quiz him and you say, okay, what is Avalanche Software working on? He'll tell you Harry Potter. You know what I mean? But he'll actually, I mean, he wouldn't just be saying it to say it. He would know. You could say, what's Warner Bros. Montreal working on? What's Rocksteady working on? And another thing is, too, I mean, they would do Mortal Kombat and they do Injustice. So you got to think, again, it's not the same kind of Batman. They don't even sometimes use the same voice actor, right? But because they've used multiple. But he probably is very much in the know. I think absolutely he's very much in the know of what these other studios are doing. So it's either a troll or he actually knows what he's talking about, and he's actually kind of giving a hint that, hey, these games have left a legacy. I feel like, so to kind of, again, to spoil the beginning, what I said in the beginning, I would probably lean on that this is a trolling effort, that the game is probably not called Legacy, and it's either called, again, Gotham Knights or something else. I really, again, we've gone through other names. Arkham, I think, is 1,000% gone, right? Sometimes from time to time, we'll still get the comments thinking that, or not, I guess not thinking, just not knowing that the game is a reboot. So Arkham, again, for clarification's sake, Arkham is gone. This game is a soft reboot of the Batman games. I think they'll maybe keep some things that have happened, but very loosely talk about them. You won't see them. You'll probably just hear about them somehow. We'll never probably see them in this world. They're not going to keep major decisions that have happened in the past games. So again, like Arkham City with killing Joker off, Arkham Knight with all the stuff they pulled in Arkham Knight, those things are probably not going to be canon, right? They're not going to consider that part of the universe. But I do think some things they may consider, okay, that actually will end up happening or it already happened. Again, we'll have to see, but why am I saying all this? Again, I think we rule out Arkham. I've always liked, Court of Arkham, when that was kind of floating around when we knew the Court of Owls were the main villain. I like that. I know some people have said that's still, it's going to be Batman and then a subtitle. I mean, I guess no matter what, even Batman, Arkham, whatever, that's the same thing, so I'm kind of copying out with that answer. I think Gotham Knights is probably the safest bet for the game's name. I'm not talented enough to come up with anything spontaneously right now in the video. I didn't write anything down. I guess if you gave me time, I could probably write down stuff on a notepad and go through my top list. And you know what? that could be, and this is just a random thought, that could be a really solid idea. If you guys want this, let me know in the comments some ideas of names that you guys have, and maybe I can do like a ranking list, like a top 5 of like the best Batman titles that I think like that we should have for the new game based off what you guys are saying. If you guys want to see that, definitely let me know in the comments, and again, leave me your names as well. I think Gotham Knights is probably the safest bet. Again, the domain name, the domain in general is very, very powerful. Again, they may choose to not do anything. What I was even saying earlier, too, if it's like a spin-off or if it's like future DLC or if it's like a merchandise thing or if it's some like, I don't know, just maybe if it's like a promotional website for it, you know what I mean? They can use a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be the name of the game, right? There's other names, there's other domain names that have Batman included in it, in that list. So it doesn't have to be it, but I feel like just based off what we got, Gotham Knights is easily the safest bet as of right now. But again, let me know, guys, what you think in the comments below. Do you think Ed Boon knows something? Do you think maybe he's giving us a hint that it's called Arkham Legacy? What do you want this game to be called? What do you think are some of the better names? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and follow me on Twitter if you guys have not yet already. It's Podcast Now 15 is the Twitter handle. The link for that will be in the description below. I know a lot of you guys already follow me over there, but you know, if you guys have not yet done that, you didn't even know I have a Twitter, there you go. Again, it'll be in the link below. More Batman videos every couple of days, trying to think of some really creative different things, working on some potential collaborations I don't want to spoil right away, but I am thinking of doing some stuff like that. We'll keep that a little secretive for now until things become a little bit more concrete, but lots of stuff coming up in the near future. Obviously, DC fandom right around the corner as well, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.